Welcome to February RSD. I'm General Slocum, and this is what I know today. Today we're coming to you from Hangar 9. This is the nerve center of a lot of our mobility operations here in the 127th Wing. There's a lot that goes on when it comes to readiness and mobility. So as we focus this month a lot on readiness, it seemed like a perfect place to come and talk to you from. Now, first, let me introduce you to Sergeant Scott Brownsman, who is one of the individuals who really make things happen behind the scenes for us. And our mobility machine making things happen. There's a lot of work that happens and there's a lot of excellence. And I would just like to begin by giving you a commander's coin of excellence for all the fantastic work. You know, in this day and age of constrained resources, you've just really stepped up and raised the bar for us. And so thank you for everything that you do.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. Okay. And what a great way to lead into what we're doing this weekend. On this 4-day super drill, we're going to spend a lot of time going through individual readiness. We want to go through our IMR. We want to make sure that we have our training done. Not only our AFSC training, but we have the full spectrum readiness training, the online things that we need to do, the self-aid buddy care, the Saberni. And that's going to include the hands-on training. And then that's going to move through this weekend into almost a practical exercise later on in the last 2 days. As part of that, we want to make sure that we're focusing on the basics. And what I mean by that is the crawl, walk. You'll notice we're not even talking about running right now. We want to stick with the fundamentals. We want to do it over and over again to make sure that we have a solid familiarization on a lot of things we haven't done for a while. So once again, please understand my emphasis this weekend. One is we want to make sure that we have everybody ready to go to do our primary unit tasking codes, but we also want to make sure that you have a solid understanding and familiarization with the basics of what we do and how we operate. So this is a great time this weekend to focus on the individual things that you need to do for readiness. And speaking of individual medical readiness, let's toss it over to Chief, who's coming from our clinic today. From our medical group, Chief, over to you.
Thank you, General Slocum. And team, welcome to February's RSD. Keeping with the theme of readiness, I am with the medical group. We've got some great things happening over here, and we've got 4 days of rodeo to make sure that all the people that are here are ready to work and help you as much as possible. And we'll jump right in. If you haven't heard about the Cultural Diversity Council, you need to. They've got some great things happening for our wing. Starting with the Black History Month celebrations that are going to be happening throughout the month of February. As well, Women's History Month is next month. And before I leave it, I just want to say a kudos to the 127th Women's Enlisted Council for a great bowling event that we had last month. Great job, folks. Continue to do the great things and continue to keep our folks motivated and included. Next, professional development. This year is going to be a year of professional development as well. If you recall, last year we had an opportunity, or at least we tried to, do a professional development for our senior NCOs and our company grade officers, and it didn't happen. But we're going to do it again, and there's more information to come when it happens for this summer. And speaking of our main theme, readiness, over at the medical group, they're going to have a lot of folks in place to make sure that we are ready to get the forms that we need for our individual medical readiness. It is important for each and every one of us to understand our individual responsibilities, and this is a serious part of that readiness. So I implore each of you as an airman that's part of this wing to have the forms that you need, and if you don't have them, get them. When we need you here, we need you to show up, and if you can't show up, make sure your leadership knows where you are. This is what we want to be a very, very important mantra for this readiness. We want to make sure there are very few exceptions, very few. No excuses, but a few exceptions. So make sure you're where you need to be and absolutely have the right attitude and be flexible. And then finally, again, this is going to be a very busy month, so we want you to be flexible. We want you to stay included, and we want you to ask the right questions, because as the time goes and as readiness is going to be key to us, we need you to make sure that you are ready to be a part of what the 127th will do for our nation's defense. Now back to you, General Slocum.
Thank you, Chief. We appreciate it. And once again, thank you for doing what you need to do this weekend to make sure that you're ready to go. I want to foot stomp again. No matter what you do in this wing, everyone's a warfighter, and everybody needs to be ready to do their jobs. Thank you. February also gives us some great opportunities to recognize some of the rich heritage we have here, and we're going to do some great celebrations as part of that. On Thursday, the 22nd, we're going to have a lunch and learn with our Diversity Council. Come have lunch with me. We're going to talk about a few things and answer some of your questions. The next Tuesday, the 27th, we're going to be having a street renaming for the Tuskegee Airmen. which, if you're aware, a very rich part of the history here at Selfridge. But it's part of our African American History Month for the United States Air Force. So we're looking forward to those celebrations and those recognitions. Along with our readiness comes resiliency. This is Heart Health Awareness Month. So there's a lot of things that we can do to make sure that we stay healthy. It's not just exercising and staying in shape. It's our nutrition and our lifestyle in a lot of ways. And of course, if you have family histories, make sure you're talking with your physicians. We want to make sure that everybody gets back to work safely tomorrow, and that includes taking care of our health and our hearts. It's also time we get to celebrate President's Day, and don't forget it's Valentine's Day this month. Everybody remember to take care of your significant others. Last drill, we also had a fantastic opportunity where we had a bowling tournament sponsored by the enlisted women of the 127th Wing. So I'm sure you're wondering, well, who won? After all that fun and everything else, it's our pleasure to announce the winners. The winner, the 127th Operations Group. So congratulations, you're the top bowlers. Followed by the 127th Air Refueling Group, and then the Medical Group in third place. Congratulations, it was a great time. It was wonderful seeing so many people out there having fun together and just having a great time bowling. And once again, thank you to our sponsors, the women of the 127th Wing. This last month also gave us an opportunity to emphasize our communication devices, the mediums that we use to try and get words out to you and news of what's happening. So let me just review quick the many different tools that we have available to try and continue good communications with you about what's going on. We have our public website that you can go to. We'll post all the information that we can on our public website about what's going on at the base and activities that are happening. Throw into that our Facebook page. If you're into social media, we share stories and we share news also on that Facebook page. That rolls very nicely into the ad hoc system that we have that's available. You can update your information on your desktop in the lower right corner, that little purple globe down there. Click on that and make sure we have your information so that if we need to send out information, we can get it to you. And lastly, and probably one of the most versatile tools we have, is our Wing app. If you download that app, it has the function where we can send out communication to you on things that are going on. So these are at least 4 tools that we have available to talk to you on a regular basis. We want you to know what we know when we know it. If you have any other great ideas on how we can, please let us know. But utilize these tools that are available. So this is going to be a big month. 4-day drill, super drill. It's all about readiness and it's all about you. I'm General Slocum, and this is what I know today.